So in this video, I'm going to break down exactly how you can reclaim your 5 to 9, which is the time after your 9 to 5. Because right now you're not actually failing your evenings, but you're just following a system that you didn't design. Distractions are everywhere. It's so easy to lose focus, to procrastinate, to scroll, to do all of those things. Most people misunderstand what is going on, but I'll explain everything. And trust me, if you don't get your shit together, then regret is going to come in. Also, I will show you at the end of this video how you can take this further and map things out with us on a quick strategy call. Now, part number 1, the identity leak. The thing is, you're still operating as an employee after work. During work, you're an actual employee, so you have to be an employee, and that's okay. But you carry the same habits, the same mental beliefs and thought patterns, and the same ways that you do everything in your 9 to 5 in your 5 to 9. And this destroys your productivity. You see, employee logic goes like this: recover, escape, and consume. And that is how you run your evenings, so you're just following distraction after distraction, and you're not able to build something real. Because chances are, if you're watching a video like this, you want to escape the 9 to 5. You want to build that life of freedom for yourself because you know that this is not long term. And the only way to get there is to shift your identity. Because until that identity shifts, you're always going to feel like you're struggling. You're fighting against the current, like you're trying to do something and your brain is just resisting you. Like everything that you have to do, all the habits, all the tasks, the business that you want to run on the side as well. Like all these things just feel so hard. And it is because deep down, you actually don't feel like you deserve extra time. You don't feel like you deserve to be productive. And that is the problem. It is identity. You see, as part of a 9 to 5, you're not actually rewarded for performance. You're rewarded for time. In those 8 hours from 9 to 5, nobody cares if you waste your time for 6 hours and then do all of the work in 2 hours. Nobody cares if you take your time with everything. It is just about finishing the work. But if you're an entrepreneur or if you're doing your own thing, then you're rewarded for performance and not for time. Chances are in your 9 to 5, you could actually do all the work that you have to do in 1 single hour. If you're actually productive, if you actually don't waste your time and you full focus, you could be finishing all your tasks in like half the time. And then you'd have like 4 hours where you could literally do anything. So in your life, when you're building something, when you're working on your goals and your habits, and you want to actually be productive so you can build something real, then it is important that you mentally understand that you need to reward yourself for performance, not time. Trust me when I say this, what you think is productive is not even productive. Your days are just filled with fake productivity, with tasks that, are nice to haves and not must haves. Like when you really understand that in your 9 to 5, you have 8 hours of work, you could actually, if you full focus and you're fully productive, you could literally finish your whole day's task in 2-3 hours. But the problem is you're distracted half the time. You spend 5 hours to do a task or something that takes 2 hours to do. You multitask, you try to do 10 different things at once, but then you actually do nothing. Every 5 minutes you get distracted. You literally are scrolling reels on your desk while you're working, while you're multitasking, while you have 3 tabs open, while you're thinking about something else. And you just have fragmented focus that is not helping you build the success that you want. Now, the way to overcome this is to make an identity shift. And I'm going to talk about that in part number 2. Part number 2, the rebound effect. This is something really important. Your brain compensates for a low control day with a high dopamine night. Just think about this. Every single time, you just go through your day and you're not that productive. You could be doing more. You get distracted. And because of that, it's like 6, 7, 8 p.m. And then you just want to do more work. You think, oh, I have another couple hours before I go to sleep. But the problem there is you start working later into the night. You start trying to compensate for being unproductive throughout the day. So you work throughout the night and then your cortisol is high and then you can't sleep and then you wake up, or you sleep late and then you wake up late and then you're already at a disadvantage. It is about proper control. You need to be productive when you're productive, and when you're not productive, when you're actually resting, you need to actually rest. You cannot have the best of both worlds. You're trying to do everything all at once and then you end up doing nothing. So hear me out. You need to relax after a certain time. You need to have a cutoff time in the evenings where you literally do nothing. You can literally watch a TV show, watch an episode, watch a movie, spend time with a loved one, go out. The important thing is do not work after a certain hour. This is an important rule because what this does is it allows your dopamine system to just rejuvenate. It allows you to relax so you're not always constantly overwhelmed by work and thinking about work, which is going to affect you throughout the night, and then you're going to wake up late and then already everything's chaotic, everything's a mess. To achieve success, you need proper structure. You cannot remember 10 things at a single time. Throughout the day, throughout the week, you have a certain number of tasks, a certain number of lists. These are your inputs. And if you do all these inputs, then you will get the output that you want. But the problem is it's always a guessing game, right? You always have one thing that you're lacking off, and then you focus on a couple other things, 3 things. And it's like you never have this balance or this level of consistency where you're consistent with everything. If you're really focused and productive with your work, then you skip out on the gym. If you're really consistent with gym, then for some reason you get distracted through work. If everything is right, all of a sudden you're eating junk food. Or maybe you cut out sugar completely, you're eating no junk food, but you can't focus. There's always something, and that's why you need proper system, proper structure, and proper accountability. Now ask yourself, if you're doing things the same way you always have, you will probably get the same result. So think about this. So far, you've been doing things the same way. You've been working alone, trying to figure things out alone, trying to be more disciplined, more consistent, all by yourself. And the thing is, you still get distracted, you still waste your time, you still procrastinate, and you still scroll because there is no system. So later in this video, I will talk about how we can work together to get you to that disciplined, consistent, and focused version of yourself that achieves the result. Now let us talk about laziness, right? Laziness is something that actually impacts so many ambitious people. People who want to make more money, achieve more success, have a better physique, live a better life, and become one of the greats, right? I genuinely believe I want to become one of the greats. You know, I'm on my way to become great. I don't want to be average. I don't want to accept anything that is below just like the maximum, the best of the best. And I know for a fact that you are the same way. So let's talk about laziness. You see, after a day of making decisions, you have 100 brain points. You have a certain amount of energy. And chances are, after your 9 to 5, your energy is depleted. So everything becomes harder. You know, making decisions, doing the deep work, doing the habits, everything just becomes more of a mental load. So your brain looks for the easiest possible inputs, like scrolling, like entertainment, like junk food, like wasting time, like just watching passive, meaningless content, because choosing anything intentional feels like more work. So to get your shit together after your 9 to 5, it is so important to have this structure where you don't let your mind succumb to easy inputs. You see, easy inputs, low quality inputs equals a low quality output. So you need to choose what you intentionally decide to focus on. I know this is easier said than done, but it is just a matter of choice. You need to command your mental energy, command your mental will to just direct your focus to exactly where it needs to be. Now in this next part here, I'm going to tell you exactly why productivity feels so hard, especially after your 9 to 5, and also how to fix it with this one mental shift. Part number 3, the system gap. You see, motivation fails because nothing external is holding you in place. Without structure, you repeat every single week, and it's just the same week over and over and over again, and then the week becomes a month and then years, and you're living the same life on repeat. Now you want a different life. You want to achieve your goals. Now let me ask you, if you're thinking, doing, and feeling the same way every single day, then how do you expect a different result? You literally wake up at the same time, you put on the same clothes, you do the same things, and you go to work at the same time, you park in the same exact spot, and then you come home at the same time, you have your lunch at the same time, and then you go to the gym, park in the exact same spot, do the same workout, and your day is just so monotonous. From your 9 to 5 to the 5 to 9, everything is just the same, and like you're reprogramming your mind to just live the same life. So how do you expect a different result? Now I'm going to show you how you can actually make a shift so you can change your life, so you can get a different outcome. Now inside the 1% Discipline OS mentorship, we had a group identity coaching call on Friday, and one main thing we talked about was how most of what you were doing is actually fake productivity. It actually doesn't move the needle. So we did an exercise together. We all took out our notebooks and we just wrote down a list of every single task that we do. Everything from A to Z that you do throughout every single day. Chances are every day you probably do most of the same things. Now you have a list of 20 tasks, 20 things, 20 objectives that you do throughout every single day. Maybe more, maybe less. But the point is, most of those are useless. You could easily take away 15 and have just 5 of the right inputs, 5 of the needle moving leveraged tasks, and get the results that you want. Because those extra tasks, all they're doing is draining your brain points, draining your energy and your focus. So it is about the art of just doing less, but doing it more, doing better. The art of selecting your inputs, being very selective what comes in and what goes out. Now this is where everything changes. You don't need to do a lot. You actually don't need to do much. You need to do a few things very, very well. Now, what you should do is take out a notebook just like this and write down all of your tasks. Every single day, what do you do? And then start checking them off from priority. Is this going to change my life? Is this a nice to have? Or is this a must-have? Now, those nice-to-haves, remove them, eliminate them, and let somebody else do them. But the must-haves, those are the things you should do and focus all of your time and energy on. This way, you're doing less, but you actually achieve more results and you feel better. And your brain points are not being siphoned away from you. And this is the trick to productivity. It's not actually doing more, it's actually doing less, but doing it more intentionally and better. That is how you achieve your goals. That is how you become the successful person that you want to be. And the thing is here, without structure, you can't stick to these things because you just reset every week. You start, you stop, you build this consistency, and then you fall back to zero. And you just keep asking yourself, why? Why do I fall back to scrolling? Why do I fall back to the bad habits and the time wasting and the inefficient working? It is because there is no structure, there is no accountability. And that's exactly what we do together in the 1% Discipline OS mentorship. We just give you the accountability, we give you the systems, we give you the mindset shifts, and we build the identity together so that you don't have to go through those things. Now let's talk about your environment. You see, most people are trying to build discipline, build consistency in an environment that actually drains you. In the same environment that is low quality, in the same environment that is full of distractions, the same environment that is just full of useless, meaningless things. Now, your environment consists of, everything from the content you consume to what you eat, to what you watch, to what you hear, to the people you spend time with and talk to. This is your environment, and this is where environment engineering comes in. You need to engineer your environment so it allows you to succeed and it doesn't actually block you. Most people are trying to build success in a failed environment, in a poor, low quality, and distracting environment. Identify your environment, identify the tasks that are in your life, identify the ones that don't even matter, remove them, identify the ones that you should focus on, the high leverage needle moving things, and just do those. And do those in an environment that makes it so easy to focus. Your environment, the people around you, should make it so easy to stay consistent, to be disciplined, to be focused, and to just be on the right path. Now, the gap here isn't knowledge, it's just enforcement. You already know exactly what you have to do to get to the dream life, to get to your results. It's not that you never knew what you had to do or you don't know what you have to do. It is just simply working with a system that is working against you. Having a poor environment, not being able to rewire your dopamine, still having that old identity, that old version of yourself, still trying to fight its way back into your life. And just a handful of things that make it so hard to stay consistent, to build discipline, to just do the things you have to do, to put in the work. So you already know what you have to do. You just need to put yourself in the right circumstances to win, to succeed. So that's exactly what we do. And if that's something that you want, then sign up for a free strategy call, link below. You'll speak directly with my team and we'll see exactly how we can get you started. Now remember, a bad workout will always beat a skipped one. Take care, and you got this.